Hanover, president of the Temple, as far as I can tell, and it is my privilege to welcome everyone to the dedication of With All Your Heart Memorial on this poignant day of September 11th. We are honoring Cantor Jodie Schechtman of blessed memory. Cantor Schechtman served TBA for 28 years before moving to Albany, New York. She shared our congregants' lives as both cantor and spiritual leader, being present and supportive at good times and bad. You have no doubt heard the line that when people plan, God laughs. So that explains the rain, but it also explains that when this memorial was planned, we expected to have a completed carport and new landscaping, with the heart fully installed and surrounded with beautiful flowers and meditation circles. The solar project, that includes construction of a carport to carry additional solar cells, should have been completed months ago, but delay after delay has occurred. Nevertheless, we decided to go ahead with the dedication of the memorial. The second phase of our project will include a renovation of the entire Gan Ha'am, and we respectfully ask that you consider donations in her memory to this project so that we can refresh our landscaping. Working to make this memorial project a reality got me thinking about my own experiences with Cantor Schechtman. She was on the bima with Rabbi Splansky for the B'nai Mitzvot of my children and sang the Sheva Brachot at my son Daniel's wedding to Karen, his wife. But one other experience came to mind, the story of the yellow capri pants. We laughed about this a lot after the fact. About 16 years ago, I was a surgical patient at Mass General Hospital and kept sedated after my operation for a couple of days. As I began to wake up and my vision cleared, I immediately saw Cantor Schechtman standing next to my bedside. As the fog cleared, I could not yet speak, but I wondered, why is the Cantor here? Could this be my funeral? And then I looked around a little more and said, I'm alive! I fully recovered, but I still remember those yellow pants and how she was there for me and my family. Although her own family could not be with us today, husband Gene Lax provided a brief remembrance on behalf of himself and daughter Madison. In Gene's words, thank you for thinking of my beloved wife, who gave all of herself to the Temple Beth Am community with grace and love for 28 years. May past, present, and future members of the congregation remember her love for them and for Judaism. And I'm further honored to introduce my dear friend, Rabbi Emeritus Donald Splansky, for a few memories from his perspective as he shared the bima with Cantor Schechtman for many years.
Cantor Schechtman was great with children. I think they sensed that she liked them, and they, in turn, liked her a whole lot. In the 1990s, we had a junior choir, which was the largest in New England, and maybe one of the largest in the United States. There were 90 children, more than 90 children in the junior choir. We didn't have enough bima space or steps for the bima to accommodate them all. They even had to stand a little bit on the side aisles of our sanctuary. And as a result, they had great enthusiasm and really gave a lot to our children's services. The cantor also loved to teach them in our religious schools, especially the Hebrew school, and would meet with them in assemblies to teach them the prayers, to sing the words of the Hebrew. And as a result, we had children who were very, very well trained for bar mitzvah and bat mitzvah, and they had enormous successes in that special simcha of coming of age in a Jewish way. One of our teachers in the Hebrew school, maybe some here will remember the Israeli-born Eli Galaz, said to me one day, she and I like to speak Hebrew to each other, she said to me, "אתה יודע מה שהחזנית נותנת לילדים." Do you know what the cantor gives to our children? And then in answer to her question, she added, Zahav, gold. And that was really the case. Everything she did with the kids was golden. And so that is especially a memory of mine today, with so many children present. With regard to adults, of course, we all remember those who were at services, and even after she was one of my successors here and served as the only clergy person, we remember that magnificent voice of hers. And there was one high holiday season when that really hit home with me. You know, 21 years ago, on September 11th, we had 9/11. That was on a Tuesday, and the following Monday night was Rosh Hashanah evening. And it was a traumatic event for all Americans, and I decided I had to scrap the sermons I had been laboriously working on and talk about what 9/11 meant for Americans and for Jews. And so that's what I did. I devoted all my sermons that season to reactions and advice on 9/11. And for the morning service of Rosh Hashanah, Cantor Schechtman sang "America the Beautiful" as the closing song. Are any here able to remember that time? Yes, good. And it was really a very moving time to celebrate America as a Jewish people and to reaffirm our sense of belonging here in America, able to express our freedom of religion as Jews. And the final stanza of America the Beautiful, people were singing their hearts out, and the cantor changed to sing the harmony, which had her voices just up in the rafters. And afterwards, I said to her, you know, you were able to communicate with music.
Thank you, Rabbi. Thank you, Rabbi. Maybe I'll grow. There's always hope, you know, there's always hope. I'm also honored to read a message from Rabbi Marcie Kamerow, who was unable to be with us as well this morning. Rabbi Kamerow was with us as Director of Education from 2015 until the year 2020. This is from Rabbi Kamerow. Cantor Schechtman and I only worked together for a year, and yet it somehow seemed so much longer. She welcomed me as her professional partner with open arms and treated me with an incredible amount of love and respect. Cantor Schechtman was the epitome of class, grace, and professionalism. She was a trailblazer, creating opportunities for female-oriented clergy to achieve their dreams. While I know that my time with her was short, she left an incredible imprint on me. She set the gold standard for how to be a true partner. As it says in Pirkei Avot, make for yourself a teacher, acquire for yourself a friend, and judge every person to the side of merit. Thank you, Cantor Schechtman, for being my teacher, my partner, and my friend. Thank you, Rabbi Kamerow. Our final speaker is the artist Silvina Mizrahi, who will explain the inspiration behind Our Heart, which is part of a much larger diversity supporting project in the city of Framingham, with 30 artist-designed hearts installed all over the city. Silvina.
Hello, everybody. Good morning. So I must say that I am really honored and thankful for this opportunity. It was from the moment that they chose me and I got the email and I was able to come and visit the community. I was feeling in my little time in Argentina, in my small community in Tucumán in the north of Argentina, so feeling this warm place and it's so artistic, this temple, so it was really a pleasure from the beginning until the end of the project, just to be involved with all of you. So we started visiting, so I said, how are we gonna, we have meetings, we have conversations with Carol. Members of the community offer to share some experience and the beloved memory of Jodie with me, and this is how the idea and the design for the heart started. So one thing that was in common when I was talking, and also Nancy, her sister, was able to talk with me too. They said, well, one of the first things that they said, she loved purple. So, and when I visited the temple and when I saw the images there and her talit with the musical instrument and purple, I said, okay, purple will be one of the colors that we were gonna have on the hearts. And then they said pink. I think that someone mentioned her office was pink or purple, so we said definitely something that we were gonna add. But besides that, besides these kind of things, how to choose the colors and the things, was her work. Everybody was mentioning how involved she was first music, and I had the chance to have with me her CD in the car, listen to her music, and saw the guitar that was part of the main pictures of the CD. And see the images of on the choir talking with the kids and adults. So definitely this is something that you can see on top of the heart and in the other side. And one image that struck me, I was looking for, besides the conversations and the talking, I saw one image of her that they said, what I love the most for my job, this is the joy of my job. And it was her with a girl that was on the pulpit, I think was an image of her, their bat mitzvah, they were singing together. And I was struck by this image. So this is the image that you can see in the other side. It's an image of her. I don't know if I can turn it around, but maybe we can try. So it was a photograph of her, like they said, this is the joy of my work, and she was like singing with a girl at the pulpit. So I said, definitely something that I want to have in the heart. And also the other thing that they were always mentioning about her was her love for the animals. So and how her sister Nancy was mentioning that when she was very ill and she was almost with lack of energy. But she was taking care of these two cats that she get it from someone and was really preoccupied to see what was going to be the life of these two cats that she got in adoption, I think, for a period of time. So all the things, I said, oh, I'm so touched to have the opportunity to be part of this heart that she really was, that was so beautiful. So one thing that I need to mention that they taught me right now that I'm sorry I didn't apply, so you can see the animals print. I didn't want to put the animals, so I said, well, maybe in some ways we can put symbols about the thing. So music is around the tree of life, and the talit with the musical instruments, the chord that is on the top, the guitars that they are on the side. But one thing that nobody mentioned, but I think that they are mentioned right now, is the high heels. So I'm sorry that I didn't have the chance to put the high heels in some ways on the project, but this is something that maybe everybody was thinking, but nobody was mentioning to me when in this conversation. So thank you, all of you, for letting me be part of the community. It was great to talk with the rabbi, also the idea of what's going to be the title. So we end up with the title, With All Your Heart, and I said, this is exactly the phrase that we need to have it in the heart. So this is part of the Shema Israel. So what's wonderful to have the feedback from all the community that was willing to share all this experience that they have with me. So thank you all. And yeah, thank you, Carol, for
thank you so much.
Together.
Thank you for speaking today and for creating this memorial. I hope that you will come back when all the landscaping is done and observe our heart in its beautiful new environment. We hope you'll come often. Thank you. And now, finally, the business of this morning. Rabbi Samuel Blumberg will dedicate the memorial with all of our hearts, and I'll leave the microphone at his level. Yeah.
Thank you, Carol, and thank you, Rabbi Splansky, for sharing those beautiful memories. Thank you, Silvina, for so beautifully capturing Cantor Schechtman's memory and her honor and what she was for this community and all of the things that she loved so dearly. As we put it, in its where it will actually be in the garden, maybe we'll think about getting a little pedestal, right, high heel, so that it can be right honoring that as well. As Silvina was mentioning, the Ve'ahavta prayer begins, Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha, with all of your heart, u'b'chol nafshecha, u'b'chol meodecha. You shall love Adonai your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your might. Our rabbis of blessed memory understand these three parts of ourselves, our heart, our soul, our might, to mean that we should be giving of our full selves, the good and the bad, up until the very end, with all we've got. For 28 years, Cantor Jodie Schechtman, Zichronah Livracha, gave to this Temple Beth Am community with every ounce of her heart, her soul, and her might. She inspired generations of Jewish people to love God and the greater Jewish people, Jewish peoplehood, Am Yisrael. She motivated others to go out into the world and to change it for the better. She modeled what empathy looks like, what chesed, loving kindness, looks like. She modeled what it means to care for and nurture a thriving Jewish community. Eloheinu v'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu, our God and God of our ancestors. May Cantor Schechtman's memory and legacy stir us to better living and to kind words. May the gift of her voice, her presence, and her abiding strength cause us, in turn, to be more giving of our hearts, our souls, our might. In the presence of God and this Kehillah Kedosha, this holy Temple Beth Am community, we gratefully and lovingly dedicate this heart to the memory of Cantor Schechtman, because she was so tirelessly dedicated to this community. In dedicating this heart sculpture today, we honor the memory of Cantor Jodie Schechtman, HaChazanit Sarah Michaela Bat Yerachmiel Ve'aliza. Yehi Zichra Baruch, may her memory continue to bless us and inspire us to acts of goodness and dedication for this community and for the whole world. V'hi noam Adonai Eloheinu aleinu, u'ma'aseh yadeinu konena aleinu, u'ma'aseh yadeinu konenehu. May God's favor rest upon us. May the work of our hands be established. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you, Rabbi Blumberg. Thank you all, in fact. In closing, Cantor David Wolff and Sarah Rosenthal, a student of Cantor Schechtman's, will sing as she once did with Cantor Schechtman. Cantor, it's in your hands.
Thank you, Carol. Thank you, Sarah. We're going to share with you the Debbie Friedman Shema and Ve'ahavta. Of course, the beautiful texture with all your hearts, as Rabbi said, B'chol Levavcha, is taken from this Shema, and it's my pleasure to have Sarah join me. I know that's wonderful. So, you can feel free to sing along if you know this one, which I know many of you do. you, Sarah. Thank you all for being here.
Thank you, Cantor. Thank you, Rabbi Blumberg, Rabbi Splansky, people who couldn't be here. We love you all. Please be part of our congregation. Thank you.